Ollie McBurney seems to think that he's fit for the weekend. Is that the official medical assessment after the week?
Yeah, it's positive. So we'll obviously we want him fit. With him, Flecky took a knock. Obviously Nell was ill, but yeah, we're hopeful on them all. We'll wait and see.
So in terms of John Fleck, I know he said it was a calf issue, but he has a chance of playing this weekend.
Yeah, it's not. He took a whack on where his break was. That's the thing. When Ali was, the information we're trying to get from the pitch, he was pointing at his calf. Just one of them things. It's literally a glancing blow on exactly where the break was, and just felt it. But the initial scan's positive, so we'll want to investigate it that little bit further, because obviously we know he's been playing with a risk, although minimal, and just the way he's been going for us, we get weren't even a tackle, just someone's knee caught him on the way past, directly on the point, and it was sore. So yeah, but like I said, the initial scan's positive.
And you mentioned Anel there. Was that why he came off and was subbed in the week?
Yeah. So we've kept him away from the players today.
Fair enough. In terms of anybody else back or unavailable for the weekend?
Tommy's still obviously been hopeful, so he's progressing daily. But it'll depend how he does tomorrow. Obviously we want him fit and available, so we're giving him every chance. But it'll just depend. One, if he can perform for us for any length of time. This is the thing, this is a frustrating thing. We're juggling subs and people who we know aren't 100%, whether that's been illness, injury. So it'll be, can he perform properly for us for any length of time? But also weigh that up against what are the potential downfalls of it, you know? Because we've gone for so long with these boys that, in the back of my mind, the biggest priority is making sure we get as many bodies fit and added to the group when we come back.
Yeah, and on that clearly this is the last kind of pre-match press conference before the World Cup break. So just an update on a few of the others. You mentioned Lowe and Bogle were back out on the grass. Are you anticipating that they will be kind of ready to resume after the break?
Yeah, provided nothing goes wrong. Lowe is further along than Jayden in terms of his rehab. Sander similar. Izzy is as well, Koulibaly. So yeah, we're happy where they are. Obviously the next step's the big step in terms of getting them back playing, and some of the lads have been out a while, so they need the game time as well to get them up to speed.
And then there's Brewster and Norrington Davis. Have you got kind of time scale on when they might be back around?
That'll be after, so they won't be back after the World Cup.
But in terms of kind of months, is that going to be
whenever they're fit? Like I said, you can put a number on, but not one's gone to plan, has it yet? So,
in terms of the break coming up, what plans have you got in place? Is there kind of a bit of time away for people? Are there some games?
Yeah.
How are you going to work the next kind of month
Both,
or so?
yeah, a bit of time away for everyone. We want to make sure that we unwind and get ready for the second part of the season. And then the training pitches will be done, so we want to be back in and on them. And we'll work everything around that, the football, the games. We'll make use of some 21s games for some of the players, friendlies, and and work hard on the training ground.
How weird a situation is this as a coach to kind of have a pre-season, end of season, in the middle of a season?
Yeah, well, we don't want to think of it as a pre-season. The boys who are coming back to get fit are working hard. The boys who have been playing the majority of the minutes, you know, it's been a set group really, so they're in a good place football-wise, but need to recover from bumps, bruises and little strains and things. So the boys will have a programme while they're away, so when we can come back, unless it's only a matter of 7-8 days, when we come back, we can just be straight into the football, and rather than be thinking it's a process where you've not played for a few months and you're doing a full pre-season. We don't want that. We want to be playing football, working on things ready for the first game.
For you, is this a welcome break?
Yeah, definitely need it. You see the nature. Listen, like I said, we're open. The three boys we mentioned, Anel, Flecky, Ollie, are all fit and available, but just those three sort of sum up what we've had. One an illness, one had to play, one jumped for a header after just nearly scoring, landed funny on his ankle, and one the most innocuous little glance. It happened to be right on a fracture that you're recovering from that we can't take things. Just it's just the way it's going at the minute. So we need to reset, recharge, and like I say, get bodies back so we can protect our players a little bit more as well.
From a club perspective, is this month also an opportunity to look at contracts and plan ahead for January and all that kind of stuff?
Makes no difference that where there's games going off. That's always ongoing.
In terms of the debrief from the Rotherham game, what are the considered thoughts around it, and why the performance was kind of below the levels that you've expected?
Yeah, so just if we, and again, this is not me being disrespectful to Rotherham or any other team, we're not really bothered about that. We'll always judge ourselves against us at our best and what we want to be and how we want to look. So I think I said, if you're a neutral or if you're one of those people that looks at stats, you might think, yeah, we're unlucky, should have won with more the ball, more chance of bar. But we're always looking at what we want to be like and what our performances are like at our best, where I believe we're more than a match for anyone. So that's his benchmark. And with and without the ball, we weren't at those levels. We might have looked all right, it might have looked a competitive game, but to me, and the players get it, that's sort of irrelevant, because we don't want to be average, we want to be good, and it's about identifying what we do when we are good. And so if anything, I can't get the game out of my head at the minute, but I want to make sure we get everything we can out of the game, which is that, and being really clear on, because we'll find ourselves in these situations again. But how do we get out of it? What's important for us to be at our best, and that's what we spoke about and showed today.
Was it as much about the kind of quality of the chances that you made in the week, and in particular games like this where you have a lot of the ball and the opposition? Yes, Rotherham did come forward a bit, but predominantly it was a kind of defensive, organised approach.
Yeah, you're going to have bodies in the box, and I say the first goal is always important in those games, without a doubt. But we played in front of them too much, didn't risk the ball enough, and that was us in possession of the ball. So we talk about how we want to play, being pretty aggressive, play forwards, try and change tempo when we make certain passes, be brave to take the ball and exciting. And yeah, we weren't those things. We might have looked good, we might have had the possession, we might have had, like I said, if you're telling a tale and a stat back, that's why I'm not interested in them, because it was the quality of the chance, the amount we created, the way we went about creating. If we'd have played quicker, took more risks, we may have been in behind them more. There's always an element of like timing and things. We've had games, both goal forwards and again, where things drop and goals come from it. That could have easily been one of those moments, easily. And the more possession you have, balls in the box you have, you'd like to think that they do drop for you. But we can't just rely on that. So, yeah, could have been totally different. Could have been totally different if we didn't fall behind. But it wasn't. So that's us in possession. Out of possession, yeah, we didn't have the same aggression. And the moments where we're usually really good, and without going into too much detail, the moments where we're usually really good, where over a 90-minute game we gain a big advantage, we didn't do that. And that was clear. And then we might have limited Rotherham to very little. But it's not just about limiting chance, it's about maintaining and building pressure in a way that we like to do it.
Do you feel like, because this game at Cardiff is the last one before a few weeks off, it will allow maybe some players that are carrying a few bits and pieces just to go for it a little bit more, that they've not got the thought of, I've got a few more games to get through, and that you might just be able to push it?
No, if we're doing that anyway, so you've got to treat every game like your last, so that's not an issue. It's the message, because there is, go for it, last one, but every team will be saying that. You leave everything on the grass. In terms of that, I think what you're sort of alluding to, I think one of the things which the players deserve credit for, but also I think was evident in the game the other night, is the fact that we have been asking the same players to go and go and go, when they haven't been 100% and they're not 100%. And again, whilst we've been really clear with the players today, I also and I want real clarity on where we drop below and where we drop below, and it's up to us. We can always have an excuse if we want to give a reason why we didn't perform at his best, but we don't accept that. So whilst we do real clarity there, I was also pains to point out and not be overly critical on what we have been doing well and what the strengths of the squad have been, and people putting themselves forward, and so there is allowances there, but we're trying to win every game. You forget that when you cross the white line, and my job's to make sure that regardless anyone's circumstance during the week before the game, you cross the white line, there can't be any leeway, or I'm not doing the players justice, because I'm not pushing them how they should be pushed.
Some thoughts on Cardiff, down in 18th at the minute, but only 7 points off the top 6. What have you kind of made to them ahead of facing them?
Probably that, 18, 7 points off the top 6. That's the league. The positions are irrelevant, everything. They've just had less consistency than the other teams. We're striving for even more consistency. They're the same. We've been more consistent than them, that's why they're lower than us. That's it. It doesn't mean we've got, like I said, tough journey, tough team, and we've got to respect that, but we want to go there and try and win the game.
So one of your first games in charge last year was the away win at Cardiff. How's the team potentially different now from that side that went down last year?
I can't remember the team.
But in terms of like the approach and the mentality and how much you've progressed over that time.
No, it's the same. The message is the same. I think it's the same. So yeah, nothing much changing in the expectation and our approach. No, I don't think so. So we take the same result. That's the aim. But no, the message is nothing different.
Are you pleased at the progress that you've made over the past year, bearing in mind it is coming up to a year in charge now?
Yeah, but not satisfied. I think Brownie asked me after the game in the interview, like, are you satisfied where you are right now? And after a loss, that's not the question you're going to answer properly. So we want to win this game. We win this game, and we look where we are in the league. And we look at what we've had against us, which have been out of our control, and take accountability and look at the things that have been in his control, which we've got wrong, and then look what we could possibly have back and where we are. So it's like a new starting point, if you like, and I'd probably say, yeah, we're in a great position. So from that respect, good, but yeah, I just can't niggle in the back of my head like games like the other night, and I just can't let them take over me. If we'd have had this, if this player's fit, why is this player? You know what I mean? You can get lost in that, and I don't want my folks or players to think like that.
Is that the kind of standards, though, the fact that if you are going to achieve what you want to achieve, that you do have to look at those little details, those kind of, I know it's fine margins that people talk about, even if they are the kind of thing that keeps you up at night?
Yeah, because there's certain things, like I said, that you've got to push, and who's to say? We may have everyone fit when we start back. We may get the same run of injuries and stuff that we can't do anything about between then, and we're going to have to deal with it. So from that respect, yeah, we're hoping we have a change in fortunes, but we're going to have to deal with it if that's the case. So like I said, you can't. If I was just putting everything down to that now and rolling excuses about it, what happens when we get them again? I'm setting us up to fail. So yeah, we look at everything, but like I said, the preparation's to win every game, and when someone's missing, it's an opportunity for someone else, and I think that's the best way to look at it.
Just finally, Paul, are you hoping that Iliman Ndiaye gets a call up or not?
No, yeah, it'd be a great story. Yeah, I'd love to see, from a personal point of view, I'd love to see him perform in the World Cup the way he's been performing for us this season.
Even if it alerts a few more people to...
I think everyone knows who he is now and what he's been doing, so yeah.
And well, just finally, Adam Davis getting a call up, great recognition for him.
Yeah, delighted, pleased. He's obviously over the moon. I don't think it's a surprise. We were, but you're still hopeful, and until it's announced, you know. So yeah, be incredible to have the chance to go to a World Cup, potentially play in a World Cup. Yeah, it's a big thing, and I think for us as a football club, we have to be proud that we've got hopefully 2 lads going there.